Development blog. New ships, closed test 12.5. Spanish cruiser Numancia and Italian battleship Ruggiero di Lauria have been added to the game for testing. Okay. Whoa. It does it have... It's got 2 turrets in the back. So kind of ruined setup, but the hull looks familiar. Is it emerald? Emerald, it looks British, yeah. Emerald Lander or... Interesting. Okay. One of the Washington design proposed to the Spanish Navy by Wickers Armstrong was based on the hull of the Emerald class ships, but with 7. So wait, 3? And then you got 4 in the back. I guess 2 double turrets? 7 203 guns in 1 triple and 2 twin gun turrets. In order to keep the power plant compact, a linear arrangement of boiler rooms and engine rooms was adopted. Okay. The installation of an aircraft catapult was also implied. Okay. Numancia is armed with 7 203mm guns in the triple gun turret located on the bow and 2 aft twin gun turrets. These guns have a good turning rate for the caliber, but not the highest damage per salvo and a low firing range. The main feature of the ship is the availability of an alternative firing mode. We've gone magical spells again, boys. Activating burst fire mode increases the damage of the AP shells. We bless the shell with AP damage and it does more damage, but decreases gun accuracy. Numancia is also armed with 4 triple tube torpedo tubes with fast reload. The torpedoes, however, are slow and deal low damage. The ship can boast good concealment as well as decent speed and maneuverability. At the same time, she has low HP pool and weak AA weapons. Okay, so weak AA and good conceal means no conceal. The equipment is represented by a choice between hydroacoustic search and defensive AA fire, as well as fighter in a separate slot. Okay. 34.5 for tier 8, 25mm plating. 14.4 km range on 203s. Tier 8 when you can face tier 10s. The DPM better be incredible to make up for that. Maximum HE shell damage to 850. "11-second reload on 7 guns." What? What? Isn't that dog shit? Isn't that like massive dog shit? Good fire rate, 70. 70% is almost standard for 203s. Well, not quite, but roughly. It's usually between 15 and 19. That's pretty standard. But burst fire, reload time 42, burst interval 1, shots in the series, so you get to shoot 21 shells. But with 25% worse dispersion. Holy shit. Jesus Christ. Isn't it, wait, isn't this the same, what, okay, 1 second. I'm just curious, what's, oh wait, 1 second. Then we have, wrong server, here we go. "11-second. Yeah, that's Aoba. But does Aoba really have 90% fire chance? No, we had flags on. 17% fire chance. So same fire chance as Aoba, same reload as Aoba. But the Aoba HE damage does 3.3 and AP does 4.7. This one does 2,850 and okay, wow. Much shittier HE, like almost 15-20% shittier HE. And Aoba has 6 guns and we get IGN dispersion on it. We get IGN. IGN has improved dispersion on the heavy cruisers. So effectively, this is probably the same, if not better, DPM. And I mean, Aoba has 14.9 range, which is better because this thing only has 14.4. So it has 108 HE DPM, 171k AP DPM. Obviously, because it doesn't have improved pen angles, what we're looking at here is we're looking at the HE DPM. That's going to be the most important thing. 108k HE DPM. Where the hell does this place us? 108k HE DPM. Where does this place us? It places at... Wait, that's the same as Aoba? You have the same HE DPM as Aoba and Molotov. What the fuck? Really? Hipper has more HE DPM than you do. Okay. Okay. Let's see what else it's got going for it. Because damage-wise, it looks like trash. Airstrike, of course, it gets ship plane-based ASW. That's the best ASW. Torp tubes, here we go. 4x3, 12 km, 8 km range, 59. They're pretty slow. They reload really fast, though. But only 8 km range. Having a fast reload on short-range torps isn't very useful, because generally you don't get to use them. Like, you rather have longer range with a bit more reload, because you can launch long-range torps. Like, you can drop them as you kite and shit. Only 8 km is very hard to utilize, so the fast cooldown is kind of wasted. Secondary armaments, okay, irrelevant. AA, terrible. 5.2 km range, only 4 flak, terrible flak damage, terrible DPS. That's 33.5, that's decent for a cruiser. Not, actually, isn't that pretty slow? Wait. Whatever, it's fine. Turning circle is nice. Rudder shift is okay. 10.4 surface. Okay, so it gets really good surface conceal. It gets 8.4 km surface conceal. Oh, it doesn't have a heal. Okay. But what do you do with this conceal? You tried to sneak up on someone and use your AP burst? Or HE burst? And torp, and then you run? But if you got 25mm plating and 34k health, you're gonna get dumpstered by every time when you spot it, you're gonna lose so much health. And your range is so poor. Like, having 14.4 km range when you might face tier 10s is suffering. And with the sheer amount of radars at tier 8, 9, 10, the benefit of this 8.4 conceal is rough, especially with all the planes around. We got shit tons of hybrids, we got submarines, we got carriers flying their planes around. Like, concealment has never been less valuable in World of Warships than it is now. Concealment is at its lowest value right now because of all the different spotting that they've introduced. An ambush light cruiser in World of Planes submarine spotting, right? That's what I'm thinking. How are you supposed to ambush anything with this? There's like 50 billion different ways you can get spotted. And then if you get spotted, you're sailing an emerald hull with no heal or smoke at 33.5 knots, chat. You have to gamer turn in an emerald hull. Elbing can two-shot this thing. Unironically, Elbing can probably two-shot this thing, like with sits and shit. And the gun layout is awful as well. You have to turn around and use your back guns. And then you have to pray that the dispersion on... Like, look at these guns are not... This front gun is not going to fire backwards well. Look at this. This superstructure is right in the way. It's going to shoot like this. It's going to shoot like this. Your kiting angles are gonna suck. I mean, we'll see where they go with this. It's still early, but this ship kind of looks like suffering to me. I can only imagine queuing up in this thing and the matchmaking going like, haha, Okinawa. And I'm like, huh, cool. I guess we do absolutely nothing all game. Ship naming reasons. Thank you, Dangerous Day. Real British hull, Japanese trench, German Me 109 plane. Really? Interesting. Kind of cursed. Ship naming. In the historical tradition of many countries, legendary battle term. Okay. For the Battle of Alamo. Yada yada. Cervantes himself dedicated a play to the siege of Numancia. During the Napoleonic invasion of Spain, the myth of this event received renewed attention, and in 1818, his warship, a 74-cannon sailing ship, was named Numancia for the first time. Okay. Okay. We decided that the new cruiser would be worthy of that historic name. Sure. Historical. Whoa. Whoa. What? Italian battleship Ruggiero di Lauria. Tier 10. Italian battleship. Wow, there's so many good Italian battleships in World of Warships, like Julius Caesar, and then there's Caesar, and then there's Giulio, and then there's Caesar. So yeah, there's a lot of them in the game right now. So Roma, I think Roma is fun. I'm not sure I'd call it good though. It used to be better when subs were in the game, because then you could sit nose in and tank for a long time. Now you try to go nose in and have fun in Roma, and you get submarine shut on instantly. So yeah, interesting turrets. The turrets kind of remind me of that dent game emote. They really do. Like, I can almost see the dent here between the eyes. Oh, here we go. Historical. I love when they try to historically represent these ships. In 1921, engineer Ferdinando Casone presented the idea of a battle cruiser with 8 457mm guns and a speed of 35 to 40 knots. This ship was the largest ever designed for the Italian Navy. To reduce overall length, it was proposed to place the boilers above the engines in a 2-level power plant. The anti-torpedo protection was also unique. The detonations would be directed to an expansion chamber or a board from where the gas would be diverted through special channels. The Ruggiero di Lauria was armed with 8 457mm guns and 4 turrets. The guns fire very powerful SAP shells, as well as AP shells with standard characteristics, and also have a short firing range. Wait, they're putting overmatching SAP shells in the game. That's the most Ebola thing I've ever heard. That's the most Ebola thing I've ever heard. It's SAP that you can't angle against. It's SAP that you can't angle against. That's the most Ebola thing I've ever heard. Holy shit. That's gonna be fun for a cruiser for sure. Angling irrelevant. And no chance of overpins either. It's gonna smash you for a billion damage. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Oh, there's the actual project. Oh, let's see. Casone's. How much did Wargaming tweak here? Oh, here it is. Okay. Casone's large. Okay. 456. Oh, it was supposed to have 456mm guns. Ah, interesting. Interesting, but how are we supposed to sell a 456mm gun in World of Warships when we can't overmatch 30mm? See, wait. 456. Wait, doesn't it still overmatch? Wait, it was 14.3? It would have been fine, But you know, they would have to make a new ship then. They would have to make a new gun. That's the problem. They would have had to. They would have had to design a new gun. That's the problem. Dude, they could literally have written that it's 457 or 456, and no one would have. I guess they were afraid. They use what they have already. Exactly. They just want to reuse. That's the thing. They want to reuse. They could easily have just written 456. To be fair, we would have eventually found out, but like no one would have really known. Yeah, I remember 430 is enough. I was wondering what their reason was. I knew it was some form of laziness. The guns fire. Okay. The ship has high speed, good armor, and a low detectability range. Among the disadvantage, a high positioned citadel, low HP pool, and low maneuverability. Her equipment is represented by the improved repair party, which restores 33% of the damage received to the citadel, as well as a choice between fighter and spotting. That's never a choice, though. That has never ever been a choice. Fighter is what retards pick. Spotting aircraft is what people who have over 50% win rate pick. That's the choice. Like, let's not pretend there's any other choice. Like, if you're one of the guys who regularly pick fighter on your ships, I'm sorry to tell you, but you fucking suck. I know. Probably not fun to hear, but it is what it is. Oh shit, 79k HP on a tier 10. Woo. Torpedo protection 39, that's pretty strong. 4x2, 457, firing range 19.2, okay. Maximum ATR 49, 16.6k SAP Alpha. With Overmatch? What is pin damage? Isn't it a third? Isn't pin damage a third of Citadel damage? It's 33%, isn't it? So we're talking... and you got 8 shells. So just with 8 pins, just with 8 pins on an angled cruiser, you can deal 44k. Overmatching. Holy fucking shit. Like, even if you're perfectly angled against this thing, and he doesn't, because he's shooting SAP, he won't get overpens. He can smash you for 44k. You can technically one-shot the Zal. You can technically one-shot an angled Zal, can't you? The guns have short range. Wait, did they really say that? And also have short firing range. Oh! They have short firing range, really. Wargaming. Can I have a discussion with you about a certain other ship that I've been playing a bit? It's called the Cristoforo Colombo. You've probably forgotten about it, since you haven't done anything to it since you fucking nerfed Deadeye. But I'm just wondering if 19.2 on a new battleship is a short range, what the fuck is 18.9 on a tier 10 Tech Tree battleship? That's my question. What the fuck is that? Maybe you could inform me, Wargaming. Fucking hell. Okay. 30-second reload. 30-second turret reverse. Because this is the thing, by the way. Every new battleship gets fast turret reverse. I think it's because people are too pepega at turret management. So Wargaming just made it fast. At some point they made it 30 seconds. I think it started with like Georgia or something. It started, I think, even with Kremlin. They were like, you know what, we're gonna give these big guns a fast turret reverse. And then they never changed it. Everyone got a fucking fast turret reverse. The slowest is like Vermont, and even that thing gets something like 36 or something similar. Georgia is 45. Yeah, it was okay. It was, but then they gave it to Kremlin, and then the Ohio got 30 as well, despite having same guns as Georgia. Somehow Ohio just got 30. Fucking magic. Like at some point they started, because I think it's kind of like when they put the Citadel underwater. They want potatoes to get away with dumb shit. And faster turret reverse lets you get away with poor turret management. Underwater Citadel lets you get away with poor angling. That's very much been like how the game has been progressing. Sigma 1.8. That's not too bad. Maximum dispersion 210. 210 maximum dispersion. Okay. Go away, Russia. Okay, maximum 210. Combo has 234. So it's got better, and we're running dispersion on Columbus. It's no, actually we're not. Wait, what the fuck is this disable? Hello? Okay, we need to go. Same as Thunder. It's battlecruiser dispersion. Really? They give it battlecruiser dispersion. Whew. Okay, with 1.8 sigma as well. Jesus, it's gonna smash like thunder then. Except instead of HE, you're smashing with the overmatching SAP for 5.5k a pop or some shit. That's a lot of goddamn damage. That's a lot of goddamn damage. Jesus. Also, the 140mm pen means you citadel basically all light cruisers in the game. Minotaur is what, 102? Smolensk is 70. Worcester? Was Worcester 152? The super lights, I think, not the lights. You smash the super lights, but not the lights. Colbert, you absolutely smash. It's got an exposed 80. Smolensk, you smash. But I think Worcester had 152. That's like the standard American armor, isn't it? 127. Never mind. It's the DM that has 152. So only the super lights all get fucking dev struck by that thing. Light Cruiser Nevsky is never in question. Nevsky can never be SAP or HE Citadel. Because Nevsky is the only light cruiser, I think, the only light cruiser that has layered armor. And it has not just layered, but it's got extremely thick layered armor. It's got 140 outer, and then it's got like a layer here. And then behind that layer, there is another 40. So it actually adds up to 180, which is more armor than, for example, Moskva's Citadel. That's the 155. So, yeah, Nevsky is very light. Very light. But we were not here to talk about Nevsky. Very light. But still, that's gonna be fucking nasty against the super lights. Airstrike, 11 km range. 11 km range on the plane drop. Okay. Wonder what the justification is with Ohio still having like 6 km ASW range. How the hell does that work? How the hell does it go? All authorities, was good seeing you post your weight training the other day. I've been on the journey myself for the past 8 months. My spinal injury causes me some difficulty on certain exercises, but learning to adapt has been fun. Yeah, I had the same thing. I needed to adapt, well, not to something as bad as spinal. That's much, much worse. But I had an AC ligament that's basically been degraded to the point that it fucks me hard. So I had to learn which presses I can do and which I can't. And at the start, I couldn't bench press at all because it got so painful. I needed to learn dips first and strengthen my shoulders, and only then could I start doing bench presses. But I still don't dare to do overhead presses because of the shoulder. It becomes so painful that I can't sleep at night. Like, I try to go to sleep and I rest on my shoulder, and it's so painful I have to take painkillers. So that was fun to learn, to figure out what to do. Let's see. Secondary armament. Wait, they're giving it SAP secondaries as well. Of course they are. Of course they are. Of course they're giving it SAP secondary. I remember when people begged them to give the Italian battleship SAP secondaries, and they gave us some horseshit excuse why they couldn't do that. And then they released some premium Italian that had SAP secondaries. What was it, Marco Polo? Or which one it was? But they released some premium battleship that had SAP secondaries right after. They gave a bunch of bullshit. Oh, it was Verdi. Giuseppe Verdi. Yeah, that's the one. But everyone wanted, if everyone's like, hey, it makes sense. It's a SAP ship that has no HE. Why would you give it HE secondaries? Give it SAP secondaries. And Wargaming gave us some bullshit story. And then they released the Verdi that has SAP secondaries. And now they're releasing another premium that has exactly what the player base wanted originally. It's fucking convenient every time, isn't it? So convenient. Because the worst part is, Colombo's secondaries are absolute dog shit because they're HE. Because Colombo doesn't get improved pen on these things. So the 90mm guns here, they only, can you see, they only got 15mm of pen. So the majority of the secondaries are these 90mm guns. And because they're HE, and they only pen 15mm, they can't pen anything. And I mean anything. Like, you can't pen superstructures, because superstructure is 19. You can't even pen super light cruisers, because super light cruisers are 16mm. You can't even pen destroyers, because destroyers are 19mm of armor. So, by making it HE instead of SAP, Wargaming effectively completely clobbered these secondaries to the point that the biggest amount, the vast majority of them can't pen anything useful at all. And now we have, once again, a new premium that has the SAP secondaries. The 152 ones have terrible reload, yep. Okay, AA defense. 664, 2x60, okay. Hit probability 70, 4.6 max range. 4 flak on a tier 10 with 4.6k max range. Holy shit. Turning circle radius 1000. Rudder shift 17. Carriers are gonna love this thing. Holy shit, carriers are gonna love this thing. My god, carriers are gonna love this thing. No smoke. No smoke. Holy shit. What kind of stuff do you have in your home gym apart from what the pic you posted? I have a rack, which I can use for squatting and benching. And then I have a bar, of course, that I use for it, that I also use for deadlifting. Then I have a station where I can do pull-ups and dips. And I got a bunch of free weights. And then I got a small, I don't know what it's called, but a bar that you can do like different smaller movements with. That's basically it. And a couple of resistance bands that I occasionally use. But yeah, 12, wait. Air detectable 12.5. Surface detectability 15.2. Let's see, 15.2. 12.3 conceal. 12.3 conceal. Okay. And it does what, 35? Yeah, you're gonna run brisk with that conceal. Wasn't brisk 10%? I think it was 10%. Yeah. So you can do 40 with brisk. So you're running at someone with 40 at 40 knots. A cruiser pops up. You smash him with SAP Overmatch for his entire fucking health pool. That sounds like fun. That sounds like fun. That sounds like fun. Yeah, I mean, this thing is gonna get screwed hard by carriers, but this thing is gonna brutalize cruisers really hard with that conceal and speed. Yeah, because the Thunder, Dispersion, and SAP overmatching SAP with that speed, this thing is gonna brutalize cruisers hard. I'm wondering, did we need another battleship ship that absolutely dumpsters cruisers? I guess we did. Apparently we did. I don't know. Which ships don't get fucked by CVs though, to be honest? True. Everyone gets to some extent. DDs, even if they have AA, get screwed by the plane spotting. Cruisers get their positioning destroyed entirely by carriers, and they get smashed. Battleships, well, they just get smashed. They get spotted, but also they get smashed. So no one really has a good time against them. Subs get killed by them without the carrier even noticing they're there. So, but I mean, carriers are the griefing class. They're literally added to this game so people who are bad at the game can have a way to feel superior. Because their personal skill will never make them feel good, because they're too bad at the game. But playing a carrier makes them feel good because it's a crutch. So, when you understand why they're in the game, it a lot of choices make a lot more sense. Wow, this is a long naming reason. Okay. Which is more griefing, subs or CVs? Subs can get themselves killed because they actually have some positional requirements. Like, but CVs, they can literally sit AFK and spawn, never move, and still ruin everyone's match. So obviously, CVs are a bigger griefer still. Subs are a pain in the ass, but usually subs only ruin one flank. A carrier can ruin the entire match. Yeah, it's interesting that Overmatch is 30mm cruise. That's actually true, Taz. Light cruisers apparently need more counters, because light cruisers are so strong in World of Warships. I don't really know how things they should. I guess they think sails, sails, sails. Same can be said for hybrids. They tend to not move all game. Oh yeah, hybrids are awful for the game. Let's make no mistake. But hybrids could be a lot worse for the game if they were captained by good players who understand to use both guns and planes equally. But most hybrid players just sit in spawn and launch their planes and do fuck all, which means they ruin your game by flying around spotting you and you can't do anything about it. But they also ruin their teammates' games because they're expecting a battleship to support them, but instead they have this bot that is sending out the plane every 2 minutes. So Wargaming has kind of uniquely managed to make a class that makes both teams pissed off, so that's pretty impressive. Have you seen the angled citadel? It has an angled citadel? No, I haven't seen it. Do you guys? I hate playing with hybrids. On the enemy team, they grief you, and on your own team, they sit in spawn. Yeah, exactly. They managed to make a class that everyone hates. On both sides. Looks like it on the pictures. What do you mean? Angled citadel. It looks like it on the picture. Huh? What do you mean? There's no picture of the citadel. What are you talking about? What? The Kremlin-like? No, this is too flat compared to Kremlin. Plus, they use their dumb fisheye lens to take these pictures now. I've complained about it before, but they use their dumb fisheye lens to take these pictures, and that's why, like, the proportions are completely distorted. Like, you see how big this nose looks like it's 50% of the ship. It's not. But their dumb fisheye lens extends the hell out of the nose. Like, you can almost see the way it curves because of their fisheye lens. It's just, I don't know why they started taking the pictures like this, but it distorts their proportions something fierce. Hybrids insta-ban from competitive modes? Yeah, of course. They can't let a good player play those things. It's griefing.